Hello and welcome to Lyra Pulse, your weekly deep dive into the economic transformations shaping our world. I'm your host Bhakti, and today we are asking a big question. Can India really become the world's factory? In a world where China has long reigned supreme in global manufacturing, India is now stepping into the spotlight. Multinational companies, weary of overdependence on China, are looking for alternatives, and India is saying, look no further. But is it that simple? Today, we'll explore the opportunities, the challenges, and the realistic future of India as a global manufacturing powerhouse. So let's just dive in. Let's discuss where does India stand today. And starting with the numbers, India currently accounts for just under 3% of global manufacturing output. In contrast, China is staggering 28 to 31%. That's a tenfold difference. Yes, India is the fifth largest manufacturing nation in terms of volume. Its manufacturing sector is worth nearly $451 billion, employing over 27 million people. Yet, its share of GDP from manufacturing has declined over the years, from 17% in 2010 to somewhere between 13 to 17% today. That's not what you'd expect from a country aiming to become world's factory, right? Still, there are signs of momentum. As of March 2025, India hit rupees 14 lakh crore in manufacturing production, rupees 5.3 lakh crore in exports, and created over 11.5 lakh new jobs. That's real progress. A standard success for India is mobile phone manufacturing. Since 2014, exports have crossed rupees 1.29 lakh crore and value addition in smartphone has jumped by 20% in just 3 years. So, what's fueling this push? Behind this push are government initiatives and policy drives. India's government isn't just sitting idle. The Make in India campaign, launched in 2014, was a clarion call for transforming the country into a manufacturing hub. More recently, the Production Linked Incentives, the PLI scheme, has targeted 14 strategic sectors. These initiatives are changing the game, boosting exports, increasing value addition, and attracting foreign direct investments. The results? A 76% increase in foreign direct investment into the manufacturing sector and expectations to create 60 lakh new jobs in the next 5 years. That's a bold vision, but is it enough? India has some natural advantages. It has got some solid strengths. For one, it's now one of the lowest cost manufacturing destinations globally, beating China, according to US Reshoring Institute. Labor costs are a big factor. As China wages have risen, India has become a more attractive alternative alongside with Vietnam and Mexico. Then there is India's massive domestic market, over 1.4 billion people. That's not just labor, it's consumers, a rare combination. Geographically, India is strategically located in Asia, ideal for regional and global supply chains. And with the rise of China plus one strategies, India is in the right place at the right time. It also boasts a robust industrial base in steel, cement, coal, and automotive, not to mention its dominance in two wheelers and growing clout in four wheelers. But advantages alone won't win the race, right? So there are certain roadblocks as well. There's tough challenges and there are several. First, infrastructure. India's logistics sector is still underdeveloped. Urban traffic congestion costs the economy an estimated $22 billion a year in fuel and productivity losses, and that's massive. While logistics costs are now estimated between 7.8 and 8.9% of GDP, that's still higher than countries like Germany and Japan. Second, land and regulations. Acquiring land for manufacturing is complicated, expensive, and slow. Legal precision can delay projects for years, and although India's ease of doing business ranking improved dramatically from 142 in 2014 to 63 in 2020, red tape still lingers. Third, the skills gap. Yes, India has vast labor force, but only 4.7% of logistics workers are formally skilled. That figure isn't much better in manufacturing. Without skilled labor, India can't climb the value chain and compete in advanced manufacturing. Now, let's not forget the global competition as well. Now, let's zoom out. India isn't the only game in the town. Vietnam has already attracted major electronic manufacturers. Mexico is thriving off its proximity to the US. Thailand has a mature auto and electronic system. And then there is China, still the giant, still efficient, still dominate, accounting for over $5 trillion in manufacturing output. Let's be honest, India isn't replacing China anytime soon, but that might not be the goal. Now, where India shines and can win, India doesn't need to replicate China. Instead, it can focus on niches. We are already seeing success in mobile manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, automotive components, textiles, and to that, India's strengths in tech services and engineering. And you've got the makings of specialized manufacturing hub tailored to 21st century needs. What needs to happen next? So, what will it take? 1. More foreign direct investments. Foreign direct investments in India's manufacturing sector hit nearly $149 billion between 2014 and 2023, up 55% from the previous decade. But India needs to keep that tap open, especially in sectors that promote high-end manufacturing. Second, embracing tech. Automation, AI, robotics, and supply chain analytics, these are not luxuries. They are must have if India wants productivity and quality that matches global standards. Third is reform. Simplify labor laws, streamline land acquisition, cut the red tape. Policies must not just exist, they must work. And most importantly, skill the workforce. India's demographic dividend will only pay off its workers are ready for the factory floor of the future. Now, so can India become the world's factory? Probably not the way China has dominated, but that's okay. India doesn't need to be the factory of the world. It needs to be a key factory in specific, high potential industries where it holds competitive advantages, attracts investments, and builds sustainable ecosystem. If it plays to its strength, fixes its weaknesses, and stays the course, India's manufacturing story could be one of the defining narratives of next decade. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Lyra Pulse. If you find this discussion helpful, don't forget to subscribe, share with a friend, and leave a review. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed. I'm Bhakti, and this was Lyra Pulse. See you next week.